Well, hello, welcome to the wonderful surroundings of Ashton Gate. This really is some place to come and watch football now, and especially when your team wins, which is precisely what happened for the Norwich fans tucked away in this area earlier this afternoon. Norwich winning 1-0 here at Ashton Gate against Bristol City. It was interesting because I was speaking to David Freezer during the game, and he said, oh, it's just like September. When he was actually referring to the game in September when Bristol City held Norwich to a goalless draw at Carrow Road, and in many ways the game was pretty similar. Bristol City are a pretty strong side, they move the ball well too, and they do a lot of things very well. And what was perhaps missing this time compared to September was that Norwich didn't really have a couple of clear-cut opportunities that they failed to take. My actual response to Dave was, well, no, it's not like September because we're missing the winners, because I was thinking you're talking about the unbeaten run. Lo and behold, before the game ran out, James Maddison scored, in fact, in that goal, just in front of the Norwich City fans, a goal that owed so much to a wonderful switch of play from Mario Vrancic. Ivo Pinto finally delivering some end product, having put all the effort in to get actually forward in an attack, and then James Maddison did the rest by cutting it inside, remaining cool and slotting inside the far corner. And in a week that has been roundly described as bad, awful, difficult, and one which saw a player of Alex Pritchard's quality sold in circumstances that have clearly made a lot of fans very upset, even though for me the logic is purely there. To see James Maddison step up back to the levels that he was producing when there was a lot of responsibility on his shoulders without Alex Pritchard was wonderful, and that is what secured Norwich's win, or certainly got them ahead. Maybe what secured it was a wonderful save late on from Angus Gunn, getting a big strong hand from basically crawling on the floor to deny a shot in the last few minutes. I think it was a wonderful save, probably the save of the season so far. And Angus has been generally not particularly troubled in games, but that was a real moment of class. And Angus is a goalkeeper who, even for his relatively tender age, can produce those. It was a curious game. I mean, Norwich had the better chances through most of the game, really. They had the better opportunities, certainly in the first half. Josh Murphy had one cleared off the line by Nathan Baker, which looked like that was going to be a goal, all ends up. Nelson Oliveira had a great chance when he ran through, did really well, took the shot relatively early, I think he had to, but missed the target. It was a great chance, even though Bristol City probably had the better of the play generally in the first half. The start of the second half, it really was all Bristol City. They really turned the screw, they upped it again without really creating too much. I think Brownhill came very close to scoring in that he hit a wonderful shot from 20-25 yards that hit Gunn's post, but if that's the degree of difficulty of your chances, you're going to do well to score from there, and it hit the post and went out, so it wasn't on target. And I don't think there was a shot on target that really affected Angus Gunn in the first half. So it was one of those games where maybe we're still a little bit anxious from what Norwich were doing in the autumn and early winter, whereas actually you analyse this was a good performance against a team that, I know they're in a sticky run of results, but they were against very good sides. They're still a very good side, Bristol City. They play the ball around really nicely, and it was only really, I think, when they went behind that you started to think, okay, this is a bit of a challenge for you now, Bristol City, and they couldn't answer it because, and as other people said around here, Norwich looked like a team that could cope with it, and that's a good place to be. No Tom Tribal, who was injured. No Miley Watkins. I believe he had a knock, although that wasn't particularly ideally qualified. I don't exactly know what that is, and I wasn't in with the press conference with Paddy, so I'm sure it'll be on PinkUn.com, so keep an eye on that if Miley was out for that reason. Jamal Lewis possibly lucky not to get sent off and pick up a second yellow card. Simon Hooper was the referee, and he was typically erratic at times. Alex Tetty particularly annoyed about one challenge on Angus Gunn, and he got a booking for that and didn't really look like in the mood to calm down, to be honest. They played a back three again, and Grant Hanley, for me, outstanding, as he was against Chelsea. Different class, and the back three that they're playing is getting the most out of those three players. Mario Vrancic did very well. The first time we've seen him alongside Alex Tetty in the middle three, and I've got to talk about Alex Tetty. The guy is still unbeaten in starting Norwich City games. There's something he delivers, and in the words of Mario Vrancic as well, he just knows where to fill the gaps and where to sit and where to snuff out danger. And you know, Norwich were relatively comfortable when you look at how it all unfolded. Some great scenes at the final whistle too. Daniel Farke was actually on the pitch. I think that was a sense of maybe the relief from what's been a difficult week. He was giving players a hug on the pitch after the full-time whistle. He gave the Norwich fans some applause, and we don't normally see that. Normally he's a little wave and off he goes. So I think that's just a general sense of what this meant. And I remember saying on the way up, Norwich had to get something from today. With the week they'd had, with how hard it had been, and with the acrimony out there amongst you lot, and most of you Norwich fans, to have lost here would have really tightened the screw. And I know for a fact that people behind the scenes have found it a really tough week. Norwich have come here and they've won 1-0. They're taking 3 points back to Carrow Road. And they've now got a game against Chelsea that they can go and enjoy themselves. And then a pretty feisty one at Carrow Road against Sheffield United. So all in all, yeah, I know some people will question elements of this. They'll feel that bits and pieces are missing, and clearly there's a need to recruit players. But if you can't enjoy a result like this and what it means for the atmosphere around the place, you're probably not following the right club, to be honest.